Hey, if this is the first video you are watching of mine, my name is Cody Jensen, and I am a YouTuber in New York City, and obviously because of that, I ride a boosted board. And I've actually had a couple chances to ride the Boosted Mini S, and so I'm going to share my thoughts with you. Boosted board actually came through New York City just a couple weeks ago, and they were allowing people to try it out, and as a Boosted version 2 owner, I was very intrigued to try out the Boosted Mini. So I did that, and these are going to be my thoughts. I'm not really going to go into the specifications of each board type and all of the specs and all that type of stuff. If you are interested in all that, Sarah Dici and Sam Sheffer made great videos about that type of stuff. You can check those out. They're linked in the description. The only thing that I will say on that is the Boosted Mini S costs $750. It goes 18 miles an hour and has a top range of 7 miles. And the Boosted Mini X is the beefier version of the Mini, and it costs $1,000. It goes 20 miles an hour and it has a range of 14 miles. Before I talk about actually riding the board, the biggest advantage to the Boosted Mini to me is that literally everything off of the board is better than the full size. It's much easier to carry. It's not really lighter, but it's less awkward to carry being condensed into a smaller package. It's easier to store at home. It's easier to set next to you whenever you go into Starbucks or wherever you're going, and then trying to figure out a place to put the full-size board. So because of all that, it beats the full-size boosted board in every way when you're talking about being off of the board, not riding it. Now, as far as actually riding the board, me being an experienced boosted board rider, jumping on the Mini feels very familiar, and it has the same great acceleration, great braking. The remote is the same. It's essentially like taking the electronics and the motors and everything off of the full long board and just putting it on a short board. It feels exactly the same, you're just on a shorter board, which I think is actually what makes the Boosted Mini so great. And there are a few distinct advantages of the Boosted Mini over the full-size range of boards. One, the turning radius is much easier to make sharp turns on the Mini, and even if it's real tight, you can tic-tac by lifting the front wheels and pivoting, which, speaking of that, you can do the same thing to turn around. You can easily just use the tail to lift the front and pivot 90 degrees and go the other direction. There is no way to do this on the full-size boosted. I tried many times, and pretty much the only way to turn around the longboard is to physically pick it up, turn around, and get back on it. So the last distinct advantage I experienced is the ability to hop on and off of curbs with confidence. I mean, you can hop on curbs with the full-size board, but I'm never really fully confident that it's not just gonna stop and throw me off of it. But with the Mini, I'm confident it's gonna make it over the curb because I can lift the front wheels and pop onto the curb. So those are distinct advantages. I think there are also some disadvantages to the Mini versus the full-size boosteds, and that would be specifically with the Boosted Mini S is that it is noticeably slower. It only goes a top speed of 18 miles an hour, and 4 miles an hour difference doesn't sound like it's a lot, but you feel pretty slow whenever casual bikers are passing you. Now the Boosted Mini X, it does go 20 miles an hour, which is only 2 miles an hour slower, but I haven't had a chance to actually ride the X to, give you any sort of experience of that. The rigid deck of the Mini is also noticeably less comfortable on my feet. I felt more of the bumps and rough pavement than I do with the flexible deck of the version 2. And lastly, the biggest disadvantage to the Mini is that it is clearly less stable when going over cracks and bumps, which in turn I think makes you less comfortable going full speed and less confident taking on the city. And ultimately, why I think that if money is not a deciding factor in your decision, that I would actually go with the Plus or the Stealth. However, that being said, if money is a deciding factor and you're trying to decide between a lower budget board and the Boosted Mini S, I would absolutely recommend the Boosted Mini. I honestly don't believe that you would be disappointed. It's just the comfort ride of the full-size boosted board that would keep me personally from switching. However, I would love to have both. I would have the Boosted Mini for the short runs around my neighborhood and the longboard for the longer hauls. But I don't really have that luxury currently, so I will be sticking with the Boosted V2 and just be dealing with the inconveniences that also come with that. So those are my thoughts on the boosted Mini. Hopefully that helps. Basically, my thought is everything off of the board is better with the Mini. Some things are better on the board, but ultimately the ride is way better and more comfortable on the longer board, but it comes with those inconveniences. So that's it. I hope that helps. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like and comment below. Subscribe if you're not. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on this channel. And hit that bell button if you actually want to see videos that I post. And I also do a podcast with my wife. It's called Deeply Curious. And you can check that out by searching Deeply Curious in any podcasting app or go to podcast.codyjensen.com. So that's going to be it for this video. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next one.